Good morning, students. Today, let me solve one important problem on preparation of the cost sheet. So, this is the problem. Please go through the problem. Veerabhadreshwara Limited is engaged in the manufacturing of product. It records reveal the following letter for 31st March 2019. Direct wages, that is not wage, WAGES, direct wages is rupees 25,000. Factory overhead 50% of direct wages. Other particulars which are there on 31st March 2018, 31st March 2019. In that they have given raw materials, in the sense opening date 24,500, closing date 25,000. Like that you need to understand. Likely WIP, work in progress, opening as well as the closing, finished goods, opening as well as the closing. So below that they have given purchases, administrative overhead, selling overhead and sales for the year, that is amounted to rupees 2,20,000. Prepare a cost sheet, that is not a statement, you need to make it as prepare a cost sheet. So this is the problem. Before you are going to solve this problem, you need to be ready with the format of the cost sheet. So this is the format. At the top of the statement I have rightly written cost sheet for the year ending 31st March 2019, particulars, and last column will be the total cost into rupees. First head will be the direct materials. In that, opening stock of materials, add purchases, closing stock of materials, that gives us material consumed, and thereafter second head is the direct wages and direct expenses. So here at the top I have written direct materials, Roman number 1, and Roman number 2 is the direct wages, Roman number 3 is the direct expenses. Okay, when we are going to add all these three, that is direct material, direct wages and the direct expenses, that gives us prime cost. Very important, it is going to include all the expenses which are directly incurred with respect to the element of the cost, that is cost incurred with respect to the material, wages as well as the expenditures which are direct in nature. And thereafter it is add factory overhead. When we are going to add the factory overhead, we will get manufacturing cost. To that manufacturing cost we are going to add the opening WIP, work in progress, less closing work in progress, that gives us works cost, and later add administrative overhead. After adding the administration overhead you will get the cost of production. To that cost of production we need to add the opening finished goods, deduct the closing finished goods, we will get the COGS, it means cost of goods sold. To that we are going to add the selling and distribution overhead, that gives us the total of the cost of sales. And when we are going to deduct cost of sales from the sales, we will get the margin of profit. So this is the format that we must be ready before we are going to solve on the preparation of the we are going to solve the problem on the preparation of the cost sheet. Now let us go through the problem. As per our format, we are supposed to consider opening stock of raw materials. So please go through the format. Where is the opening stock of raw materials? Raw materials 24,500 and 25,000. One is opening stock of raw material and another one is the closing stock of raw materials. So here I am going to directly write in the opening stock of raw materials, that is so called as 24,500, and amount of the closing stock of raw materials is the 25,000. So here we require purchases. Whether the purchases have been given? Yes, it is given. Purchases amounted to rupees 1,25,000. So here I am going to add the 1,25,000. So here I must add opening stock of raw materials, add purchases, that gives us 1,49,500. From this we need to deduct closing stock of raw materials, that is amounted to rupees 25,000. It gives us 1,24,500. That is nothing but a material consumed. And thereafter we have to search out direct wages as well as the direct expenditures. Whether in the problem direct wages and direct expenses have been given, go through the problem. It is the first item only. Direct wages is rupees 25,000. So directly we can write in front of the direct wages amounted to rupees 25,000. And as far as the direct expenses is concerned, it has not been given. Now when we are going to add direct material, direct wages and direct expenditures, we will get the prime cost, that is amounted to rupees 1,49,500. Now we are supposed to add the factory overhead. What is the amount of the factory overhead? Factory overhead 50% of the direct wages. So what is the amount of direct wages? It is 25,000. 50% will be the factory overhead. It means that 50% of 25,000, that gives us 12,500. So here below this factory overhead I am going to write 50% of rupees 25,000. That gives me 12,500. This 12,500 I am going to add to the prime cost. Then I will get the manufacturing cost. When we are going to add both these things, we will get 1,62,000. 1,62,000. Next we are supposed to add the opening WIP and deduct the closing WIP. So what is the amount of opening WIP and the closing WIP? It is second item. Opening WIP 25,000 and closing WIP 27,500. 25,000 I have added, and after adding this I will get this much of amount, 1,87,000, and from this I am going to deduct the 27,500. 27,500. We will get the 1,59,000. 1,59,500. So that is nothing but a works cost. To this I am going to add the administrative overhead and go through the problem whether the administrative overhead has been given. So below the purchases you can find the administrative overhead. What is the amount of that? That is amounted to rupees 10,000. So here I am going to add the 10,000. 1,69,500. To this I am going to add the opening finished goods and deduct the closing finished goods. So go through the problem. That is the third item. Finished goods, opening is the 45,000, closing is the 37,500. So here I am going to add the opening finished goods amounted to rupees 45,000. After adding this I will get 2,14,500. I am going to deduct the closing finished goods, that is amounted to rupees 37,500. When I am going to deduct the 37,500 from 2,14,500, it amounts to 1,77,000. That is nothing but a cost of goods sold. Now last remaining head is the selling and distribution overhead. So go through the problem whether the selling and distribution overhead has been given. Yes, last but third item, that is selling overhead 12,000. I am going to add 12,000 to the cost of goods sold. After adding the 12,000 I will get 1,89,000. Cost of sales will be the 1,89,000, and profit that we are supposed to ascertain. What we need the amount of the sales. So go through the problem where the amount of the sales has been given. It is the last item. Sales for the year 2,20,000. So here below I am going to write 2,20,000. When I am going to deduct 1,89,000 from 2,20,000, I will get the profit amounted to rupees 31,000. This is how we are going to prepare cost sheet. Okay. With this I am going to conclude my discussion. Thank you. Before you are going to solve this kind of a problem, you must be ready with the format of the cost sheet, blank format of the cost sheet, and under the each head you need to leave sufficient space to write the transactions also. So here that much of transactions have not been given, directly the amount of the specific head is given that I have considered. Okay, whenever you are going to solve any problems further, you need to be ready with the format, leaving a sufficient space to write the items or the transactions. With this I am going to conclude the discussion. Okay, please go through the problem. Thank you.